What's up, FHN?
I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Nathan, and welcome back to this week's episode of The Nightly Show.
On April 8th, a total solar eclipse passed over a good chunk of North America. NASA estimates that over 31 million people were in the line of totality, which is where a total eclipse is visible in the sky. The path traveled through the majority of the Midwest into the East Coast and lasted for around 5 minutes. This was a very rare occurrence and won't be predicted to happen again until 2044. Now down on Main Street, Joy's Collective Market spreads both positivity and the craft of local artisans in the community. Here's a look into the store with Ramirez and Rhea Patel.
Here on St. Charles Main Street, there's a seemingly small shop called Joy's, but if you take a step in, you'll find a world filled with many items made by a wide variety of local artisans. This store fosters a great sense of community, not only for the customers, but for the artisans that are able to sell their products with the help of Joy's.
Joy's is a small boutique that brings so much joy to other customers. It's a place to come to find interesting items and unique items, antique items even, and it just brings a whole bunch of people here to connect with other people and even co-workers as well. It's a place to connect.
So the idea of Joy's originated from an idea my husband had. His grandma's name was Joyce. They had a very special relationship. So he wanted to honor her, but also it's a play off of her name. We're all about finding the joys in your life.
We have two buildings. The front building is Joy's, where we have it's our boutique, it's our personal stuff. In the back, it's called Joy's Collective Market, which is all different vendors and artists that make their things to sell here. So it's very unique. It's so many different artists' work at this store.
It's been 13 years since Allie and her husband Austin have started Joy's. In that time, the business has grown, but their central goal has remained the same.
So at the time, it was honestly just a way to support ourselves, but it has grown over time, with our community. We just want to have a place where people come in and feel good, and if they see something that they like that they want to buy along the way, that's wonderful, but mostly just to have a place where people feel welcome, that makes them feel joy.
Just its uniqueness. Not many stores are like this, so it's just kind of nice to come in here and it has its own character. Personally, I feel like it's important because it gives the ability for small businesses or people trying to start other businesses to give them a chance to be able to grow and get out there, because again, it's just hard in general to be able to advertise, because advertising is very expensive. Again, you just don't know where people come from and their backgrounds and the struggles that they have, so I think it's very important and helpful to do that.
I love the variety. There's something new on every corner, around every corner and every wall, and it's just so exciting. There's always something else. It's a whole experience getting to look inside everything, and I don't know, you never know what you're going to find.
I think it's important to connect with our community, because without them, we wouldn't be here. We're grateful every single day for both our local shoppers as well as the tourists who come through.
All of our employees they love having one-on-one conversations, which makes this job, I wake up every morning and I enjoy it. I want to come to work every single day.
I would just say, in general, having a small business and starting Joy's, we have learned so much. We've learned a lot about our community. We've learned a lot about people. We've met so many wonderful people throughout the years, and we wouldn't trade it for anything in the world, and it's been the experience of a lifetime.
Austin and Allie have built a wonderful community based on supporting others and spreading, unsurprisingly, joy. Reporting for FHN Today, this is Max Ramirez.
FHN's mock trial team has qualified for state every year for the past 10 years of the program's history, last year being the first year that they won. This year, the mock trial team once again placed first in the St. Louis region and ultimately took home the championship. They will be competing at Nationals in Wilmington, Delaware in May.
Wow, that's amazing, Vanessa. Now moving on, junior Caleb Thompson's passion for music has greatly impacted his life. Here we learn about how his passion came to be with Laney Quandt. Let's take a look.
I'd say I really first got into music in around maybe 7th or 8th grade. I started hanging out with a bunch of friends who were more into music, and I started picking up on their tastes and really started going out on my own, finding my own kind of music based off of that. There's a lot of different subgenres of rock that are kind of difficult to even say are rock, but technically are rock. And I think there's just a lot to work with in terms of rock music. Other genres I feel like are a lot more limiting in what you have to do to be in that genre, where with rock you can do a lot more and still be considered rock music. I'd say my dad, definitely. A lot of the music he would listen to, he'd sit on the patio and he'd listen to music out of his phone, and he'd always listen to like Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin, and I picked up on that. I'll try and find new stuff. People will recommend me music, and I'll never turn down recommendations. If I like a song that I hear during the credits of a movie, I'll go find the band that made that song. It's definitely, it was never a big part of my life before. It was always just kind of something that played on the radio, past the time when you were bored. But now it's like a passion of mine. It seems like every day or every other day I'm listening to a new album or discovering a new band.
Juniors and seniors, don't forget that prom is April 19th, and make sure that you have both your ticket and your ID for you and your guest if you're bringing someone.
The FHN boys volleyball team has been doing pretty well this season with a record of 6-4-2. Be sure to catch a game before the season ends and support your Knights. Let's take a look at the season with Max Fitzsimmons.
With the boys volleyball season just underway, FHN's preseason Jamboree tournament seems to be getting players the most hype. Today I talked to some of the players about what it's like to participate and how it benefits the team as a whole.
It's a good learning experience. It's good to learn what works and what doesn't work when you're trying out like new stuff at the beginning of the season. And it's also just kind of fun to play against other teams.
It was pretty fun. Getting to bond with my new teammates and stuff. Competition was really easy, so yeah, it was pretty good.
It's still the same level of competitiveness. People just aren't like, the teams aren't as advanced as they would be farther on in the season, but everybody is still trying like their hardest to win.
I personally think it's a lot more competitive because it's a lot more friends playing with each other and people that have known each other and play with each other for a lot longer time, so people take it a lot more serious, I feel like.
I'm looking forward to getting to play with, all my friends on the team, hopefully winning some games. I think we're looking pretty good, and hopefully playing in front of a big student section.
The Knights are set to play on March 9th at 10 a.m. in hopes to bring home a big win for the school and for the team.
In sports news, the Iowa women's basketball team defeated the reigning champion LSU Tigers. The playoff game averaged 12.3 million viewers, surpassing last year's championship game by over 5 million. It is amazing how players like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have caused growth in the sport of women's basketball.
And recently, Kanye West has been teasing the release of the highly anticipated second installment of his and Ty Dolla $ign's trilogy, Vultures. Let's throw it back to a classic Kanye album with the review of Graduation by Nathan Smith.
What's up, FHN? My name is Nathan Smith, and today I'm going to be reviewing Graduation by Kanye West. Graduation is the third album in Kanye's college trilogy, and some consider it to be the best of the three. Kanye produced some of his most successful radio hits on this project, including Stronger and Flashing Lights. Kanye had some very successful commercial hits on this album, but he also stayed true to his original sound. Some of my favorite parts of this album are the beat on Flashing Lights and the lyrics on the song Everything I Am. However, my favorite song has to be Homecoming.
Shot City, I'm coming home again.
Homecoming is a song about Kanye's hometown of Chicago. Homecoming has some great symbolism in the lyrics and a captivating feature by Chris Martin. Overall, due to the great lyrical content, the wonderful production, and the magical listening experience this album provides, I have to give it a 10 out of 10. Is it too high? Is it too low? Let me know. On March 13th, the House of Representatives passed a bill regarding the ban of TikTok in the United States. Many House legislators argue that TikTok could allow the Chinese government and Chinese companies to view American user data and also influence the American population due to the widespread popularity of the app.
This bill still has to go through both the Senate and the President before it is fully passed and put into place. Now, onto a happier, more fun note, here is Max Ramirez to share the history of Just Dance.
Just Dance 2024 was released October 24th of 2023, making it the 15th game in the series, featuring chart-topping songs from the past year, such as Vampire by Olivia Rodrigo and Kill Bill by SZA. It's no wonder why people want to get their hands on any Just Dance game. Just Dance is arguably one of the most successful video game series ever created, having reached 135+ million players over time. But what's the history behind this series? What was the process that took Just Dance to the top? We'll discuss the origin, making, and influence of Just Dance as a whole, starting back in 2006. Not with its first game, but with the minigame that inspired its creation. This minigame came from none other than Rayman Raving Rabbids TV Party, a spin-off game to the Rayman series that included a collection of minigames involving Rabbids. Said minigames made use of the Wii's motion controls. One minigame in particular caught the attention of the public, and that was the Dancing with Dweebs minigame. Using the Wiimote, you follow the moves on the screen, and the Wiimote would track it and give you points. This game became so popular that Ubisoft decided to turn it into a full game, leading it to the first in a long line of Just Dance games. The process of making the first game was unique. There had never been a game like it before. For example, when choreographing the levels, oftentimes the end product looked nothing like the original dance. A problem that Just Dance games still have to this day is trying to choreograph dances that the everyday person can follow along to. This can take a lot of revision of the dances from level designers. They also had to make changes to make it easier to track the motion on the Wiimote. However, this aspect of using real choreography and filming real people doing the dances is important to the appeal of the game. Seeing a real person that you are following along with on the screen actually tricks your brain into thinking that you look like the person on screen. This psychological illusion makes the game more fun. You think you look as good as the person on the screen when in reality you are doing more simple movements. And this definitely paid off. The influence of Just Dance has seen that payoff. People flocked to the game when it first came out, and even the prototype Rabbids minigame saw major success all on its own. People were dancing in front of a screen and in front of other people without fear. Having choreography on the screen that you can follow along to, plus repeating movements based on the rhythm of the song, made Just Dance easy for anyone to pick up and be good at. This also made the game especially fun to play with friends, being able to dance with other people without fear of judgment. And so, through word of mouth and love for the game, Just Dance became the game it is today. From a random Rabbids minigame to Just Dance 2024, the game has come a long way and continues to be just as fun as when players first fell in love.
For more news updates, make sure to follow us on our socials at FHNtoday and at FHN Game Day. Once again, I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Nathan,
signing off.